Hello viewer, and thank you for joining me for the inaugural FET video. Today we'll be reviewing the Mexican Formula E Grand Prix. And my god, were we spoiled. I believe we will be hard pressed to find a driver dominate a race like that again this season. Just seeing how open the field already looks with those new boys, Porsche and Mercedes hitting the ground running really hard at the pack. It really is a true testament to the sport. I have a stat here as well from the amazing Twitter account I fully recommend you go follow, Formula E Stats, which shows just how progressive his win was, but just how close this sport is and why it's so exciting to watch and why it's growing so rapidly. And after that scorchingly exciting race in Santiago, Chile, where Max took his maiden win with that daring last second lap overtake. It's just the championship keeps throwing curveballs, and you've got to feel sorry for these boys on the screen. Virgin Racing looked so close to getting a double podium this weekend, and it just shows again how exciting the sport is. Of course, with heartbreak for Frins, who tangled with fellow Dutchman Vers, and with just 6 minutes left on the clock, British man Sam Bird, who was in second place, defending hard against Antonio Felix da Costa, drove onto the dirty side of the track, those marbles, and had to skid, lost control of his car, and he sent it into the wall on turn 3, which drops him down to position 9. And the Mexico E-Prix is fast becoming a personal favourite, and I believe a fan favourite. So fast, always so much drama. Who can forget last year, that literal side-by-side finish? It's fast becoming one of the highlights of the calendar. And to continue with our winners and losers, we've already mentioned one loser, the envisioned Virgin Racing team. Another loser, however, is Porsche, and more specifically, Andre Lotterer. Andre actually started off at the front of the grid due to some pretty terrific qualifying, and he's not even on the export on your screen, not finishing the race. Of course, before the first lap even finished, him and Evans were side by side, and Lotterer is known for being a pretty aggressive driver, doing some really defensive moves. But Evans, stood up to him, and Lotterer was forced out onto the grass, dropped lots of positions in the race, and then quite literally towards the end went up in smoke. Really sorry for him. He looked like he was having a really tough time out there. And another honourable mention for the losers category, unfortunately, is Van Dorn, who really looks like if he'd got a good result at this race, he would have kicked on, led the championship, being the most consistent driver. And it just, once again, how amazing is season 6 turning out to be? We thought season 5 was incredible, so is season 6. This guy, who looked like the only person who was able to find a run of form, comes to Mexico, and him and Bird, very unfortunate, because they're looking like they're having some great racing. To move on to our first winner, fairly obvious, it's got to be Sam Bird. Behind him, chaos, as is the story with almost all Formula E races. But for him, apart from those first few laps, mature race, well executed, and he just ran away from the rest of the pack. Our second winner, and I think surprising to a few, will be Mahindra. Mahindra started the Mexico Formula E Prix with a 40 place grid penalty and an additional drive-through stop and go penalty, but they still managed, between them, a combined 3 points. I think a completely decent result for the team considering the conditions. I thought it was quite funny to watch them do really well, whereas most other teams maybe wouldn't have shown that pretty stellar mental fortitude. Our final winner for the Mexico E-Prix is going to have to be Daniel Abt. And reading the timeline from the official ABB Formula E Twitter account, it's impressive reading. 8 AM, he suffered a nasty crash in FP1 and was helicoptered to hospital as a precautionary measure. 1 PM, he was checked and released from hospital. 4 p.m. he was cleared to race, joining his fellow drivers on the starting line. Unfortunately, seems to have crashed out on the grass due to a car issue, but we're just grateful that he was there, he was safe, and he had a good go of it, and he came back. Those have been your winners and losers, guys. If there's any obvious admissions, of course there probably is, comment them below. If we look at the standings, it's pretty open, the field, as ever. You could not call the winner, but in a few days time I am going to be doing a video on my predictions for the end of the season, and after every race for the rest of the season I will be doing a winners and losers. So please don't hesitate to drop by, leave a like, subscribe, and let's hope Marrakesh was just as exciting as this instalment of season 6. Absolutely, gotta say it again, incredible.